right, guys. What is going on? It is your boy Tyler Gates, aka Tag Live 205, and welcome back to another episode of the Tag Live 205 Talk Show on Millions. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel. We are on the way to about 1,000 on Millions. And before we get into this show, I really want to always start by saying thank you to Millions, because if it had not been for Millions giving me the reps and the opportunity, we would not be here today. So as always, thank you to Millions. And today's a very special day. I know you can probably see what's going on right now on my shirt. I know you can probably see. I know you can see. I have the Legacy shirt on. And for those of you who do not know what Legacy was, it was a group formed by Randy Orton. That's right. And you had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase as his accomplices, aka his mentees. One of the best groups, best factions of all time. So if that's not already a teaser on whose side I'm on tonight, I don't know what is. But once again, if you have not already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tag Live 205 Talk Show, or Tyler A. Gates. Also, all my social media platforms are just the same name, all lowercase, Tyler A. Gates. Now, it's WrestleMania, okay? Like, I want people to really understand where I'm coming from when I say the season of WrestleMania is what really gets me excited. And not only the name itself, it's a brand. WrestleMania is a brand, okay? And it's like, you think about the Super Bowl, you think about the NBA Finals, you think about the World Cup, you think about the Stanley Cup, you think about the World Series. This is the equivalent of that. WrestleMania is the biggest sporting event in all of sports and entertainment. That is what WrestleMania is, okay? It's WrestleMania. Point blank, period. That's what it is. But I'm going to get into these match cards. Before I get into these match cards, as always, make sure you follow me. But I want to see your predictions. I want to see what you guys have on your predictions. So let me know down below. Or if you want to make a graphic and tag me on it, you can do that as well. And maybe it'll be featured in a later show to come. All right. So the first matchup that we have is arguably the best one of the night. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee. Now, I will say, this is not a match you want to take lightly. I really feel like this matchup is one of the best matchups we are going to get of this decade. And yes, there's a reason why I have the Legacy shirt on. That's why. It's because you think about Cody Rhodes, you think about Randy Orton, and Ted DiBiase. Now, there have been no rumors, but there have been rumors about Ted DiBiase returning to WWE, particularly WrestleMania. I don't know how true that is, but I will say, if it is true, that's what we need. We need DiBiase back. He's the only one that can solve this issue between Cody and Randy. Obviously, Pat McAfee coming into the picture was not a part of the plan for us as fans. It definitely was not. But looking at this thing, how we're looking at this thing, I want people to really understand what I mean by this. This is for the undisputed WWE Championship. Randy Orton's going to win this match. One, he has to win. They're trying to push the stratosphere of Randy Orton getting to number 15. He has to win the match. Number two, how is Cody Rhodes going to fend off the various attacks coming from Pat McAfee, who's on the outside of the ring, being a manager? But at the same time, is Pat McAfee going to be it? I think my biggest question is he going to still commentate, or is he going to just be full-blown manager mode today? That's what I want to see. Another thing before I move on to the second match of the night, don't let this be a match that is too long. Don't let it be too short. And please don't let it feel repetitive. That's why I say Ted DiBiase needs to be in the picture somewhere tonight. And I have him in a later segment in a couple minutes that I'm going to get to in terms of who will return. So my prediction is easy. It's Randy Orton. He's going to get number 15. He has to get number 15. I love Cody Rhodes. He's from Marietta, Georgia. Georgia boy. I love him. But Randy Orton deserves number 15 to get one step closer to John Cena. Now, the next match is probably my favorite match because my GOAT, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Listen to me when I say this. Listen to me when I say this. Actually, I want the camera back on me. I want the camera back on me so I can say this. I want it back on me. Seth Rollins is, without the shadow of a doubt, a top 30 wrestler all time. Don't disrespect Seth Rollins. He is the architect that made the Shield. He is the architect that broke up the Shield. He is the architect that got the Shield back together. Oh, and he's also the visionary. And if you really want to go into burn it down mode, if you really want to go into the Kingslayer era, come on. Going toe-to-toe with me on Seth Rollins is something nobody wants to do. And on top of that, the Messiah, right? When he was in that Messiah mode, did not really like that gimmick, but now the visionary gimmick is one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, he is the visionary. He's the revolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins, and I have him winning against Gunther in this match. Now, I want this to be very, very, very clear. Gunther has been on a roll, just like Obafemi has. Gunther's been on a roll. Here's my thing. What's the kicker? Something is going to happen in this match, either to Seth or Gunther, that we're going to look back on tomorrow morning and we're going to say, why did that happen? I'm not saying it's going to be interference, but knowing how Triple H is and how WWE creative is, something is going to give tonight in that matchup. So, moving on to my third match. And before we move on to the third match, like I said, if you are watching, welcome, and welcome again. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel as we are talking about WrestleMania today. I do all sports. So if you are new to this channel, if you want sports from a different perspective, you come to the right guy. You come to the right channel. Let's get it pushing. Stephanie Vacar versus AJ Lee. Or Liv Morgan, rather. Excuse me. This is the match of the night. Other than Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, and maybe Seth, I feel like this is the match that's going to steal the show. These two dislike each other. They dislike each other. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. This is for the Women's World Championship. Now, listen to me closely when I say this about this matchup. Stephanie Vacar, great. Liv Morgan, greater. Liv Morgan has to win this match. She has to win this match. She has to avenge what happened to her. Okay. And leading up to WrestleMania, everything just so happens to happen to Liv off screen. I don't know. It's very weird. And then Stephanie Vacar, we understand that she got attacked by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan returned and attacked her. We get all that, right? I want to see who's really more battle tested. Is this going to be an all-out brawl? Is this going to be a technical wrestling match? Or is this going to be a matchup where we're going to see interference? Got to always throw interference in there, guys. Have to always throw interference in there because you never know what match is going to steal the show. And you never know who's going to come out in favor of an opponent. So my prediction for this match is pretty simple. I'm going with Liv Morgan as your new WWE Women's World Champion. And then AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Now, I love CM Punk. I love AJ Lee. I do. Here's my thing. I don't think, and And let me be very clear about this, because I want to go back to a previous match when I say this. I want to go back to Seth Rollins real fast. When you look at this matchup and you really see what occurred many years ago between Seth, Becky, Lacey Evans, and Baron Corbin, isn't it lining up a little bit how that lined up? How we started to figure out that Seth and Becky were a couple outside of WWE, and now everything is starting to line up. Okay, cool. I see that. Here's the kicker. If Becky Lynch comes out to help Seth against Gunther, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if another female wrestler that we don't expect comes out and help Gunther. Please don't be alarmed. Please don't be alarmed. Please don't be alarmed. Getting on to AJ and Becky now. This is what I want to say. And Becky Lynch, I believe they're the best couple in WWE history because that is my opinion. But AJ Lee, she revolutionized the WWE. She is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. She deserves to retain that championship, but I don't think she's going to. Everything is lining up to where she has to lose it. I don't think both Punk and AJ lose at WrestleMania. I just don't. But if it's a match that I had to pick, AJ Lee I would pick AJ Lee to win this match. I don't think CM Punk is going to beat Roman. So I would pick AJ in this instance, even though it hurts me as a avid Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch promoter. Just saying. Getting on to one of the better matches now. One of the more intriguing matches of today's day one match card. And that is the Vision versus the Usos and LA Knight. Yeah, it's true. I Show Speed is actually in this match. Speed has a WrestleMania match, guys. Let that sink in. Speed has a WrestleMania match. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm really intrigued to find out what role exactly he's going to have in this, because one, bravo by WWE Creative. Two, Triple H, you used them once in the Royal Rumble. Now we want to see how you use them on the grandest stage. We want to hear how you use them on the grandest stage. And to be quite honest with you, here's my thing. All these matchups have their own way, right? Austin Theory being the X Factor in the Vision. Logan Paul, World Tag Team Champion with Theory. I Show Speed, I feel like is a X Factor in some sorts, but the Usos, the greatest tag team to ever live. LA Knight. Everything is lining up for the Vision to win this match. And that's exactly what I'm going with. I don't think the Vision loses. I just don't. I would love for the Usos to win, but the prediction angle is telling me to go with the Vision, and that exactly is who we are going with. We are going with the Vision. Now, another match, because there's more. And this is my favorite match, because you have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Whoo! I was born with a golden spoon. If you don't know, you need to go look that up. Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus the Bella Twins versus Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Now, it's very strange that Lyra and Bayley actually have a friendship going on, which I don't think it's going to last. I think something's going to happen tonight where somebody breaks up a tag team. Now, is it going to be Paige? Is Paige coming back? I don't know. I don't know. But multiple reports saying that she did re-sign with WWE. Not gonna believe that. Fell for that before. Not gonna believe that again, unless it happens. Something has to happen tonight. I do feel like somebody's coming back. I mean, obviously Ted DiBiase probably is the biggest name to come back, but on the women's side, give me Paige. Give me Paige. But who shall she replace if she does come back? One of the Bella twins. It's only right. It's got to be one of the Bella twins. It's only right. And in this one, I'm going to have, because I put out a question mark on my predictions on my talk show page when I put out my predictions this morning, and I'm I'm still a question mark about this one, guys. Just because of the rumored returns. And that's how it's going to stay. I don't know who's going to win this match. Because it's hard to predict something that is so inaccurate. We don't know who's coming back. We just don't know. We just don't know. And for this match card, for day one, which I'm just covering today, I like it. I really do. I like day one's match card. I feel like day one's match card matches up to where everything is lining up for day two to be even better. Obviously, Roman Reigns has to be on Sunday. That's no pun intended to what happened with Jey Uso off screen on a recent podcast where he attacked a podcast member. Now, I don't think that's a part of the WWE script. It could be. I don't know. But we'll just have to find out about that. We'll have to find out about that. When we come back, we are going to talk about who will make their name and what do we expect for a possible return. All right, guys, we will be right back. WrestleMania is tonight. All right, guys, we're back. Welcome back to Tag Live 205 Millions. As always, I'm your host, Tyler A. Gates. And we're talking about WrestleMania. If you are just now joining me, and I just went through all the match cards for day one. Obviously, there'll be a rerun on the millions.com channel at 11 a.m. So make sure you stay tuned for the rerun if you miss that. Today is WrestleMania. And for those of you who may not celebrate that, it's the biggest sport spectacle that we have in all of sports and entertainment. The Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the World Cup, the Stanley Cup, the World Series, the FIFA. It compares to this. And WWE, ESPN, the merger that they had coming together is one of the best things that we have seen in sports and entertainment. Now, I'm going to break these two down for you before we get into night two preview and some show shout outs. Who's going to make their name? So, the obvious answer right now would be Trick Williams. That's the obvious answer. It would easily be Trick Williams. And to really round it out for you, what WrestleMania means before I even get into that. WrestleMania helps people rise to the top. It makes their name. And Trick Williams could be the next star that we refer to as Mr. WrestleMania. Obviously, Shawn Michaels has that name tied up, and it's yet to give it up. But who will make their name? It's going to be Trick Williams. That's my easiest answer, and that's the safe bet. If it's not Trick Williams, Obafemi. I believe Obafemi and Brock Lesnar are going to have the best match of all matches at WrestleMania. Two heavyweights. One of them will be, without a shadow of a doubt, the undisputed heavyweight in WWE. Brock Lesnar has already made his career. He's a Hall of Famer, just waiting in the wings for that golden ring that we saw AJ Styles and Stephanie McMahon and Dennis Rodman pulling in their hands last night. And congratulations to them. Well deserved. I'll give them a round of applause for that. Hall of Fame careers, all of them. AJ Styles is definitely next in TNA. Definitely next. I would even say he's the greatest TNA superstar of all time, but that's off the subject. But speaking of making their names, AJ Styles made his name in TNA, made his name in the Indies. Stephanie McMahon made her name as Triple H's manager, who we know as a husband now. And NWO made their name, partially in WCW, WWE in the early to mid 90s with Kevin Nash, a.k.a. Diesel, and X-Pac, who was 1-2-3 Kid. If you don't know, you know. And now we look at this and say, who was the next one? Obviously, John Cena. Obviously, Randy Orton. Obviously, Rey Mysterio. We're talking about people from our era. Undertaker, Kane, Big Show. I can keep rattling off names. Carlito. And this is not really from WrestleMania. This is just wrestlers that made their name in the WWE coming up in an era that was moving out of the Ruthless Aggression era. So it's easily Trick Williams or Obafemi for me. And there's not really a reason why. It's just that Trick Williams is the next star of this industry, along with Obafemi. If it's any two guys to carry the men's industry, it's those two. Absolutely. And Trick Williams has the Rock mindset a little bit on the mic of laying the smack down on somebody, but that's different. Trick Williams is a little bit more educated on the mic than The Rock was coming out. So take that for how it is. But Trick Williams and Obafemi easily for me. And before we move the show shout outs, like I said, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe and share my talk show account. This is also going to be on Spotify as well as Millions, of course. If you watch it from YouTube or Instagram, let me know down below what you guys think. Also, day two predictions will be coming out very, very soon in a later video. So, moving on to the bigger question. Who will return? This is easy for me. Do you guys see my shirt? I know you see my shirt. Hello. I know you see my shirt. Ted DiBiase has to return tonight. I'm not saying he will. He has to. And how I know he's going to be there is because in a earlier podcast earlier this year, somebody mistakenly slipped up and was in Ted DiBiase's house. And Ted DiBiase said, April 18th or 19th, yeah, book it. I'll be there. Come on now. And we all know how Ted DiBiase talks because he's the son of $1 million man, Ted DiBiase Sr. Money, 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 money. Come on. If you watched WWF back in the day, if you watched wrestling back in the day, you know who Ted DiBiase was. Everybody knew who Ted DiBiase was. But for the younger generation like myself, we were Ted DiBiase Jr. fans, some of us. Love legacy. But what he did to us at Elimination Chamber 2010, that's why I feel like he's coming back. Look at Elimination Chamber 2010. Look at it. I don't think we have the film right now, but if you go look up Elimination Chamber 2010 and you look at the WWE Championship match, Ted DiBiase was in that match. Cody Rhodes interfered in that match. Not the way that you think, though. Go look it up. Just go look it up. And moving on to show shout-outs, the last segment of this episode, I'm very proud of what WWE has been able to do. And to say the very least, this is going to be, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best WrestleManias. Once again, it's WrestleMania. I got to say that once again. It's WrestleMania, people. And to predict what the biggest match is going to be of the night, give me all the matches on the screen again, guys, if you could. We have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. The Vision versus the Usos and LA Knight. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And Stephanie Vicar versus Liv Morgan. Let that sink in. Please let that sink in. I'm going to pick as the match of the night, no biasness, but it has to be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. It just has to be. I'm sorry. It has to be. When you talk about number 15 for Randy Orton, not 14, 15 world championships. He's surpassing Triple H. He's right there with John Cena, only needing 2 more to catch up to him, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll get 16 for sure. I think he'll tie with Ric Flair. I just don't think he's going to get 17 like the never seen 17 C-Nation John Cena, the greatest. 54 chain gang. What's up? I just don't think that's going to happen. But for show shout outs in the last segment of the day, obviously giving a shout out to all the people that watch this channel. You guys make this amazing. Got to give a shout out to all the creators, Justin Stuckey, Clifford Taylor, aka Watch the Cliff Show on iHeart Podcast, everything. But those two in particular, they're there at WrestleMania. If you run into them, take a picture with them. They're gonna have a lot of media, a lot of content for you guys. Those are the two guys. If you want fluid predictions, those are the two guys to go to. But other than that, thank you guys for joining. And it's Viperville season tonight, baby. It's Viperville season. Randy Orton all the way, no questions asked. WrestleMania 42 coming off to you at 6 p.m. Eastern time on the ESPN app. Go watch it. Go stream it. It is live right now.